Hey everyone, welcome back to another Diablo 4 video. In this video, I'm going to go over the build that I used to get my Druid from level 1 to 25. I will admit that out of all the classes, the Druid was the one I want to say is a little more difficult in regards to leveling. It's really hard to find some good synergies that work well, and I want to say first off is the build that I use isn't necessarily the best build. I'm pretty sure there's better builds out there, but from what I've personally been using, this is what felt more comfortable with me. So with that said, when it comes to leveling the Druid, I honestly want to say go with what feels comfortable and fun for you, because with this class specifically, it seems like it struggles early on in leveling, and with so little testing we can do with the beta, I feel it won't really shine until later on in game during full release, because this class specifically relies heavily on legendary items with those abilities, and I try to keep things in a realistic scenario, meaning I try to think of this as if it was full release and 25 wouldn't be the max level, and also the drop rates won't be as good as it is in the beta, because obviously they increase the drop rates so we can test all these other stuff. But in terms of leveling, I want to say with the Druid, there's no really specific build. All I can say is what I used and what felt good to me. So anyway, this build is mostly pertains to me shapeshifting into werewolf. I have a barrier and I use pets. This build does not use an ultimate of any kind. It's shapeshifting to werewolf, rely on your pets, have a barrier for sustainability. So I chose this because one, I wanted to do the werewolf because to me that just seemed the most fun. I did try like Storm Strike. I did try a bear build. It didn't feel too fun to me, so that's why I chose to do werewolf. So I'm using Claw rank 1 of 5, shapeshift into a werewolf, and claw at an enemy for 90 damage. Then I have Enhanced Claw. The claw's attack speed is increased by 10%. Then I chose Fierce Claw. Claw applies 45 poisoning damage over 6 seconds. So the key thing with this build is when I'm using my werewolf attacks, I'm applying poison, so I get that damage over time. And then for the core skill, I have Shred. Shapeshift into a werewolf and perform a trio of combo attacks. First attack deals X amount of damage, second attack does more, third attack does even more. As you rank it up, the more damage it does. I have this at 5 out of 5. Enhanced Shred. Shred gains 30% attack speed and heals for 2% of your max life. 9 if an enemy is struck. Then I have Raging Shred. Shred's third combo attack is larger and applies an additional 229 poisoning damage over 5 seconds. So again, along with my other werewolf skill, I'm applying poison. So with this, you become a werewolf, you have increased attack speed, then when you shred, you do more damage, and you apply even more poison on top of that, and then you also get some sustain, so you get healed for a little bit of an amount. Then for my defensive skill, like I said, I have Earthen Bulwark. Rocks surround you for 3 seconds, granting a barrier that absorbs 45% of your base life in damage. So I have this rank 1 of 5. Then I chose Enhanced Earthen Bulwark, which makes you unstoppable while this is active. Then I have Preserving Earthen Bulwark. It grants 18% base life as fortified, so this is more sustainability. So I chose this just because I love the sustainability of it. Now there's another armor, Cyclone Armor. I personally didn't choose this one because it knocks enemies back. I want to be in everyone's face, so more of a melee thing. So when I did try this and I didn't like how it knocked everyone back, I just wanted to be right in there and attacking things. This could be better overall for surviving, but as far as face tanking and doing damage, I preferred this just for my personal playstyle. So feel free to mess around with using different types of armors if you'd like. Again, this build of mine isn't the best, and you can do your own twist on it if you like. This is just what I personally use for the level grind. And again, this is without considering any legendary items, because again, we're being realistic about when the game launches. You're hardly ever going to get legendaries, and when you finally do, within a few levels, you're probably going to replace it anyway, just because of the amount of levels you're going to be climbing. Then for companions, I ended up getting all my companions. So I have Wolves rank 2 of 5. So it has a 14-second cooldown. The passive is you summon 2 wolves that bite enemies for 38 damage. Then active, so when you actively press the skill, Direct your wolves to focus an enemy, leaping to them and striking for 173 damage. As you increase the rank, it increases the passive and active damage. But the passive, as far as the wolves, these wolves are much more tankier than me. So these wolves like hardly ever die, and if they do, like your cooldown will be up already. And I primarily choose to use this cooldown like on elites and bosses and all that. But yeah, these pets are great for tanking for you. Then I have Enhanced Wolf Pack. Wolves deal 20% increased damage to immobilized, stunned, slowed, or poisoned enemies. Then I have Brutal Wolf Pack. When you critically strike, your wolves gain 20% increased attack speed for 3 seconds. But yeah, so this build is, other than me shapeshifting to a werewolf, it's mainly utilizing the companions. Then I have Vine Creeper. So cooldown is 20 seconds. A Vine Creeper periodically emerges from the ground every 7 seconds and applies 162 poisoning damage over 6 seconds to an enemy in the area. The active ability is Vine Strangle all surrounding enemies, immobilizing them for 3.77 seconds and poisoning them for 202 damage over 3 seconds. So this is really good for the CC. It immobilizes, it poisons them, so it's just really nice overall. Then I have the Enhanced Vine Creeper, where the duration is increased by 1 second, so that's nice. Then I have Brutal Vine Creeper. Your critical strike chances increase by 20% against enemies strangled by Vine Creeper. So not only are you immobilizing them and poisoning them, but you're also able to have a 20% more chance to crit on the enemy. Then I have Ravens. The cooldown is 15 seconds. Passive is one raven flies above you and periodically attacks your enemies for 58 damage every 5 seconds. And the active ability is the target area is swarmed with ravens, dealing 383 damage over 6 seconds. Then I have Enhanced Ravens. You have a 5% increased critical strike chance for 6 seconds against enemies hit by ravens. Then Ferocious Ravens. Enemies inside the swarm of ravens, when it is active, become vulnerable for 3 seconds. And sorry, I forgot to mention, for the Vine Creeper and Ravens, it's only rank 1 of 5. And so this pretty much increases your crit chance, and it also makes them vulnerable. So stacking all these, you're immobilizing, increasing your crit chance. So it's a good damage buff. Then I do have 3 of 3 Call of the Wild. So your companions deal 30% bonus damage. So each rank, it goes up by 10%. So rank 1 is 10, rank 2, 20, and then rank 3 of 3 is 30% bonus damage. And again, I don't have anything right here. I don't have anything right here either. So I literally threw everything into my companions, and I pumped everything else into my shred. My pets do most of my work for me. I use my active abilities like on the big packs, especially on bosses, and it's pretty decent. Again, this class isn't the best in regards to leveling. I feel like the Druid is going to shine in late game. So feel free to do your own twist on this, and you know, if you want to give this a try, by all means. It's just an idea. The Druid is very difficult. So I did try and do a full werewolf build where I did nothing but werewolf skills, which it was alright. It just felt really clunky, so I didn't like it. I did a full werebear build where I just did all bear skills. I didn't prefer it either. Now, as far as this setup with the werewolf with the pets, I wasn't able to test it with, you know, having maul instead of claw, and then using pulverize instead of shred. I just haven't had the time. I have personal stuff going on, so I haven't been able to test out of what I wanted to test out. So feel free to change things around, find out whatever works for you. Ultimately, I would say just try to do what's fun in regards to leveling the Druid, because as of right now, unless they fix the Druid until release, I don't see the Druid having anything viable as far as the leveling process. It's going to be a lot of just have fun with it. So anyway, part of the build is your pets are going to always be passively doing something. So you can see the vine is floating around. My wolves are out. I can't see it, but a raven does fly around, periodically damages enemies. I just can never see it on my screen. But anyway, my primary, I'm going to use that to apply my poison. I'll be attacking with my shred for the most part. You just got to balance out, you know, when your shred takes away your spirit, you got to use your primary. So I'll probably do like a few hits with claw, then I'll probably do 2 shreds, then hit again with claw, then like 2 hits with shred, whatever works really. Then bulwark, you could either use this to engage the enemy, so like right when you're about to enter a pack, or you can save it for if you end up being CC'd, whether if it's stunned, frozen, or whatever. You'll be able to activate this, and it'll get you out of that status effect because it makes you become unstoppable. See how it says characters have all control pairing effects removed and prevented. So you could save this for situations like those, just like kind of like almost a get out of jail free card, or you can use it for engaging the enemies. That's up to you really. And then again, I'll use the Vine Creeper and Ravens like on stronger enemies, and then I'll have the wolves. If I want them to tank something specifically, then I'll summon them to go attack that specific enemy. So it comes down to on how you want to play it. But yeah, I alternate between these. I'll use my Ravens to make them vulnerable. I'll immobilize them with Vine Creeper, then I'll use my shield as needed. So if you clicked on this video just to get an idea and see what skills I use, then that's pretty much it. So feel free to click out now if you want to see how I use it. Stick around and I'll be showing some gameplay. But yeah, if this helped you, please like and subscribe. It helps me tremendously since I am a small creator. I just started not too long ago. It helps me out greatly and everything is appreciated. So anyway, getting back into it. So I'm in this dungeon right now. I'm in Dead Man's Dredge. So this is like the hot farming spot. So yeah, I apply my poison, using my shred. I haven't even used my other skills yet. Stun my wolves, I did that. I'm gonna immobilize them, use my ravens. See how it stuns them, they make them vulnerable. I haven't used my shield yet. Yeah, definitely not the best and fastest build, but I mean, this build is what I've been using to have the most fun. See how I immobilize, use my ravens, then I use my shield. Oh, should have saved my shield.
I must wait a moment.
Mobilize, ravens, attacking. So, it's not the strongest, not the fastest, but I want to say this has been the most fun variation I've used for the Druid class itself. It's been very hard to find something that was fun, didn't feel clunky, and this is the closest thing I found. So, you know, again, I'm pretty sure there's better builds out there, but for me personally, this is what's worked the best. And another thing everyone needs to remember is this is the beta. Things will change. So, you know, everything that you see, not just from me, but from other creators, it's going to change. Especially the Druid. I want to say it's very underwhelming compared to other classes. So I'm hoping they do stuff to adjust it some way. Whether if it's changing around skills, whether if it's changing around skills or even legendaries, I want to say mainly probably the skill synergy. They might rework something. I'm not too sure, but I hope they do something to fix it.
I must wait a moment.
But yeah, so that's the gameplay on how I use this Druid. Obviously I didn't play the best, but you can get the point. You know, it's pretty much synergized with my pets. I'm a werewolf, I apply poison, and through my pets making them vulnerable, immobilized, they're not able to hit me as much. I have a shield, I get more crit chance, I apply my poisons. So very simple gameplay. So that's my Druid werewolf build with pets. So if you found this video helpful at all, or you found it entertaining, I'd appreciate it if you like and subscribe. I'll be doing more Diablo related content. Obviously the beta weekend is ending, but I'll be doing more Diablo 3, possibly some Diablo Immortal, depending on how I feel about it. But yeah, other than that, if I'm not doing Diablo, it's going to be other ARPGs, survival games, possible MMOs, pretty much whatever game I enjoy at the time. But yeah, thank you for watching. I greatly appreciate it, and I'll catch you in the next one.